Good morning, y'all. Marlene Bush, Stitching by the Lake here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I don't even know how to start. I have so much stuff here and I don't have any of it sorted out. And so what I'm going to try to do this morning is just talk about things as they are stacked up in my piles here. I've gotten quite a bit done. I've stitched a good bit. I've done some finishing. So I've got a few things like that to talk about. Before I do that, someone asked me about this quilt that's back here on the back of my chair, and it's not a quilt, y'all. It's my sewing machine cover. I'm going to take it off so I can show you. It's wonderful fabric, first of all. I made it years ago, and I don't even remember what fabric it is, but it's simply, let me untie this. It's just like a small quilt, and I put ties on the sides so that it would fit. I'm not going to untie that one because it's in a knot, so that it would just slide down over my sewing machine. My sewing machine, I have I'll get a little closer on that. I have a big thread holder on the back of it that's really tall, and so I couldn't do anything that was really fitted. So that's what I came up with to cover my sewing machine. Most of the time it's on the back of this chair because I don't remember to put it over my sewing machine. I have my sewing machine plugged into a cord that I just push a button and it turns off the machine, and two lights and stuff like that, and I just flip that button and go on about my business and don't think anything about it. That fabric was so cute. This is hanging up over here. I'll show you. I made a little bag out of an extra piece of it I had. I only had a very small piece and just made this little bag. It has a Velcro closing, and the straps in the inside are that little print that matches the gold on there. And I think all of these blocks have a Bible verse on them. This one is Matthew 6:28 through 30. And this one is the one about the lilies of the field. I keep that one up there beside my sewing machine. I don't use it. I don't know why. It's kind of small, but it's still a perfectly great size. So I should get it down and use it. But it's just pretty, and I like having it hanging there. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff I've done and maybe talk about some life updates later. First of all, this is the whip that I'm currently working on. This is an old pattern. It's from Lottie Da, and it's called And Rudolph. I saw it at the Shepherd's Needle the last time I was there, and they had it finished really pretty much just like that, and it's just striking. It's very, very pretty. So I picked it up while I was there. By the way, y'all, Ann Thompson at the Shepherd's Needle has just a perfectly wonderful shop. I've told y'all that many, many times before. I did order some things from Market, not a lot, not as many as I wanted to, but I did order some things from her. And if you are still waiting to do that, y'all consider ordering from her because, number one, it's a great shop. Number two, I just call Ann, and for instance, one of the patterns I said, would you kit that up for me? And she will cut the fabric to size, no extra. She does 3 inches all around, but I'm talking, you don't have to buy a fat 16th or a fat 8th or anything like that. She cuts it to size, and she serges all the edges. And then she puts a label on it that tells you what the fabric is and what project you plan to use it for. So she's kitting up a couple of things for me, and I'm going to have those mailed to me next week. I really wanted to go to her market day, which will be this Saturday. Today is Thursday, March whatever, 12th maybe, something like that. Anyway, her market day is this Saturday, but I am bowing into the coronavirus, and Jerry and I are staying at home now. We are both in our 70s. I'm 73 and he's 75. And other than necessary trips, we're not getting out of our home. We can watch church online. So we'll be just fine. He actually is out this morning. I feel kind of bad, like I'm lying to you or something saying that, but he went up to pick up our taxes. So he's making a quick trip to do that because regardless, life does go on, doesn't it? Okay, La-di-da and Rudolph. I got sidetracked. Sorry, y'all. I'm really bad about getting sidetracked. Cute, cute. I am not using the called for anything on this one, but I'm very close. I am using, I left the label in there, but this is Weeks Dye Works Straw. It is not, I don't know. It's a great fabric. I love it. I love it. In fact, I think I'm going to call Ann and ask her if she has more. Because I have a pretty big piece. I haven't cut this one yet. And you can see here, see it's pretty long. So I have plenty to do more things. But I really think I'd like to have more of this because I'm loving stitching on it. Part of loving stitching on it is the fact that I'm using silks to do this when I'm using, let's see, I have it written down here, NPI 993 for the black. And then there's just a little bit, you can barely tell, it's a color that almost matches the fabric right here and right here. And there will be some of that in the border. And that one is a Victorian Motto sampler color called Scarecrow. It's going to be hard to see that border, and you can't even see the fact that there's something else in the border that's a different color because it matches the fabric. I'm not sure why she did it like that, but when you see it up close, it's really pretty done that way. I am using, I don't know what to call this, the fanny stand. I have gotten to where I use this or my clamp-on stand that looks just like this but has a clamp that goes onto the table. I use those pretty exclusively. If I'm doing something quite a bit larger, I might put it on a lap stand that I can sit either on my lap or up on the table that I work at. But for the most part, I'm using that lap stand, and it seems to keep my neck at a pretty good angle where I don't end up with stiff and sore muscles. I decided that I wasn't going to do March Madness. And if you're not familiar with that, there are some stitchers out there who are totally insane. That's what I told Abby Bella Stitch. And they're doing a new start every day in March. Some have modified that a bit, but Abby's doing a new start every day, and she's doing a video on that every night. So I'm following her very closely, but I'm not doing that. I am trying in March to do a lot of Christmas things. Might be ornaments, might be bigger than ornaments, but that's what I'm working on for March. So here's one that I just finished a couple of days ago. Let's see if I brought the pattern in here to show you. This is the Little House Needlework series, Hometown Holidays. I have done one, I've done the tree farm, and then I've added now the train station. The fabric that I'm using for this one is the Petty Point, a little with the dots in it, and I am doing mine in a very long line. I'm probably going to have 2 lines. And I'm simply extending the snow between one and the other to try to make them blend sort of seamlessly. When I get to the end of the row, I will probably add some snowflakes up above, scatter them randomly so that will be a little bit, that will help with the construction of it looking more like one big scene. I have about a dozen of these patterns. I decided on the top row I would do the tree farm, the train station. Let's see, I'll show you what else. There's the tree farm. I'm going to do the firehouse and maybe the church. Here's the town church. And then the second row, I'm going to do some of the shops. For instance, here's the needlework shop. And I'll do that on the second row. I will also add, oh, here's the firehouse that's going to go on the top row. I will also add on that second row the bookstore. Excuse me, y'all, the allergies. Everything's blooming here. I know some of you are going to be jealous of that. The Bradford pears, the wild plums, the tulip trees, the forsythia, the japonica, the redbud trees, all of it. Full bloom. Jonquils have been here and are mostly leaving, so it's time for the tulips. Grandma's house will also go on the second row. I'm kind of winging it, you know, just I'll see what happens. And probably this house, I'll change the Williams under the bottom to Bush for our last name. And the carolers will probably go up on that top row. And maybe the schoolhouse. I don't know how much room I'm going to have up there. I do have some other shops. I have the sweet shop. And I have the toy store, and the florist, and the diner, and the pet store. So I'll just kind of mix those up and put them where I think they fit best to make 2 rows. I think I have enough room on this fabric that I could probably do 3 rows and make it perhaps a little shorter. I don't know. After I've done the third one of these on that top row, then I'll look at it again and see what I think needs to happen. But like I said, probably just haphazard winging it on those. Okay, I've got a couple of things I need to get out of my way here, so I'm going to show you these first. These are some FFOs. Over a year ago, I stitched Ebenezer Scrooge Christmas. I don't know what the name of that was. I stitched it because Nicole Buckeye Stitcher stitched it, and it was so pretty. And I've had this stitched for over a year, but have just now gotten it in the frame. And this is what it looks like. I'm not going to be able to get that. Yeah, maybe I can get the lights off of there and you can see. It's been a while since I did this one, so you would have to know for sure, you'd have to look back on an earlier video, but I kind of think I just used the colors that were called for the threads. Not sure right now about the fabric. It's a 32 count, could be a 28. I'm not sure. I showed you last time that I had gotten access to, been loaned a pattern by Good Housewife, maybe? Never Enough Time. I finished stitching it last time and got it framed this time. It almost looks, when I look closely at it, well, not closely, when I look from here, it almost looks like it's wrinkled, but it's not. It's just the modeling of this fabric. And I think I talked about the threads on my last video, but let me see if I can't just tell you. I have my calendar with me where I write all that stuff down. And I did finish that one. in January. I did it on a 36 count, but it was an unknown fabric, something I had in my stash, and it was the Good Housewife. I used Victorian Motto threads into the darkness and tortoise shell. Isn't it nice that we have things written down sometimes? Okay, and then my favorite of all, the books of the Bible, which I have been stitching on for a while. Let's see, I finished it before and showed it to you finished, and I don't have the threads and things written down on this one, but these were the called for. I know that I used silks, I used espresso for the words. There were only 2 other colors in here. I found this frame at Hobby Lobby. I framed it myself. This frame weighs a ton. My husband's not going to be a happy camper when I tell him to hang it, because it's one of those that has 2 hangers on the sides, and you have to do all that measuring, and you laser things so you get it straight, and it's heavy, and I want it over my bed. Not going to be the easiest task, but it's stunning, if I do say so myself. I love it, and I'm anxious for him to hang it for me. I'm hoping we get that done this afternoon, but I do have a list of several things for him to do today, so it could possibly be tomorrow. On her last video, Ann Thompson at the Shepherd's Needle showed a finish on this metal tin. It's got dividers in here, came from Michael's, and I went immediately to Michael's and found one, just one. It's on a stand, you can see it here. And this pattern, I had already stitched this, I'd shown it to you before. It's called Oh Holy Night by Sandra Moffett, and it's for it was done for Hands Across the Sea samplers in 2018 and was a free pattern. And I simply, I did it on banding, and so all I did was put a seam back here in the back of it. I'm going to keep this on my stitching table by my chair and put scissors and pins and all that kind of stuff in it. And I can hardly wait to start using it because I really, really love this. It's just a tad, like 1/8 of an inch. The banding was about 1/8 of an inch wider than the metal. And I started to turn it under, you know, and make it exactly even. And then I decided I just wasn't going to do that. Just didn't want to. But one of my favorite finishes ever. Just love that. I did finish another one of the Little House Sheep Virtues. This one is Courage. I have not FFO'd it. I'm doing these with wool on the back, and I don't have any wool that I think works good with that. I think my sister has a piece of purple. So Sherry, this is what I'm looking for. Purple, right there. I need a piece of purple, honey. I gave her a whole lot of wool a couple of years ago, so every once in a while I steal some from her. I also finished Heartstring Samplery, Baby It's Cold Outside, and I know y'all have all seen this one many, many times. I do not have a frame yet for this one and didn't want to make a trip to Hobby Lobby right now for that. I didn't feel like I should risk anything getting to Hobby Lobby, although I really, really want to. You know, when you tell yourself you can't go somewhere, that's when you want to go the most. I really want to go to Hobby Lobby. This is Baby It's Cold Outside. Like everyone else, I will think about Leanne each time I see that. Let's see, I'm going to tell you, started it on February the 14th. I finished it on the 26th. It was an unknown linen, something I had in my stash. Very pretty, very modeled, and I used the called for threads on that. I also finished another Noah's Ark. Y'all know I've been stitching these for a while now. Slowly but surely. I did the parrots this time. I have not FFO'd any of these because I plan to do them all alike. She just came out with a new one at market, and that was on my pre-order list. I can't wait to do those llamas. This has beautiful colors in it. I used the called for colors in this. And this fabric is some that I had Ann cut a dozen pieces of it for me when I started on Noah's Ark. I'll go ahead. I've shown these before, but maybe there's somebody new. I'll just show you what I have already done. I have done the giraffes. Those are cute too. I have done the alligators, or the crocodiles. I don't remember what they called them. This one is the squirrels. The deer. That's a full coverage one, y'all. That took forever. And the whales. I'm going to have to get Ann to cut me some more fabric because I'm going to run out. I don't see the one. Oh, wait, here's some more. This is 36 count R&R Patriotic Brown. I should have Ann add that to my order she's going to be sending me. That'll be something else I can work on while I'm isolated at home. This one I stitched a long time ago. Several months ago, and that's enough for my memory to be gone. I don't remember who the designer is or anything. I finally found a little frame to put it in and stuck it in there. That's all I know, y'all. Sorry. Don't you love the little skeleton in there? Then these are some Christmas ones that I got out of this magazine, Just Cross Stitch 2013. These are some I've done this month. This one is called Peace on Earth. It's by the Primitive Hair. I'm using, for a couple of these, you'll notice the fabrics I like it. I'm using 28 count Twilight Mist. And I did change the colors on this. Hers was much more primitive, but I wanted a red on the angel. I don't know why. Afterthought, I should have done white probably. But it is, the red is the Victorian motto sampler called America the Beautiful. And then the gold is gingerbread from somebody. And then this one is Joy from Legacy Designs, Fran Coburn. It's the same fabric, 28 count Witchell Twilight Mist. And I used a Gentle Arts pomegranate. And I added red beads to it. She had stitches where I have the beads, but I decided to add beads to mine. And then the third one I did on that same fabric is called Oh Holy Night. Same magazine. And I used Gentle Arts Brethren Blue for the letters. The rickrack is a lady dot. I don't know the name of the color, just a cream. And I had this cross. I put a magnet on it. It's got a magnet on the back. And this is just a little basket that I found at Hobby Lobby. I bought 2 of them that day. That was all they had because I thought, what a great way to put a small, and this would sit in an easel perfectly. I had a Save the Stitches. It was, this little bunny had words above it, words below it. I cut everything off but the bunny, and then made him into a little pin pillow, added some rickrack and a bow with this little ornament is also a bunny. You see that? So I did not stitch this one. I just FFO'd it. Found it in a flea market. Last video I had stitched this jack-o'-lantern called Just Jack, which is a free pattern from Val's stuff. One of those when you buy the buttons. And so I FFO'd him, put him into a hoop, and added a little ribbon at the top. He's another one that would sit in an easel. I laced that on the back. I haven't covered the back of it. You can see how I laced it. I don't think I'm going to cover the back. I really don't. Not happening, Jack. Sorry. Kitty Me Designs, a free one called Little Bird on a Snowflake. And I had done a little bird some time ago that I sent to Nicole. But this is the other one that I did for a Christmas ornament. It's a little tiny cardinal on a snowflake. I'm on a roll, y'all. Still got some. Okay, this is Heart and Hand Black and White Spring Sampler. This was a kit. I bought it at the Shepherd's Needle. Did it exactly like they said to do it in the kit. Made it into the little pillow with their fabric on the bottom, and they even included the rickrack. I can't remember. Yeah, I had the carrot, this little charm. I had the carrot. They put the button in there that goes on right there. Is that not the cutest thing ever? Just so cute. Another ornament. This one is from Brenda Gervais, the Jack Frost ornament. It was a kit. It came with the little round half ornament, kind of crystal snow globe kind of thing to put on top. Two of hers that I've stitched, they ended up being a little bit too big for the hoop or the ornament that she gave us. So I'm doing something wrong. It's not Brenda. And it was her fabric. I don't know what I did, but it doesn't matter. I just made it into an ornament. Jack Frost. More Christmas ones done. My goal is to have, I'll be 74 in October. My goal, things falling apart down there, y'all. Is to have 74 Christmas things done this year. Lofty goal, huh? I don't know. This one I showed you last time I had finished stitching. Abby Rose Designs Primitive Merry Christmas Pillow. I FFO'd it. This was a Hobby Lobby plaque of some sort that came with its own easel. I don't remember what the words were on there. It could have been a Christmas one. It could have been, I think it was a snowflake maybe. Anyway, I finished this as a flat fold, added the Lady Dot pom-poms around it, and then I think I glued it. I'm pretty sure I glued it. Anyway, it's a cute finish. Another Christmas one. These two are actually Valentine's, I guess. The Heart and Hand 2020 Collector's Heart. I had stitched these last time and showed you the stitching. This one right here, I finished into a needle book. And this is the front of it. I added this little bow and a charm, a little heart. And on the inside, I put this ribbon. I can't get that to look straight, but it's pretty straight. With that made little pockets so I could put scissors there. Added some pins and some needles to it. I put fusible fleece on the inside of this, so it's pretty puffy, soft, makes it a little bit heavier so it won't slide around and get lost real easily. The other part of that pattern was this, and I changed it too. I told y'all when I did it that I changed it. She had an alphabet on it, which I didn't want to do. I changed it, took that alphabet off, and just made it plain. Added lace on the two sides. I had this frame, and it's another one that had something printed in the middle of that. It's really not a, it's more like a plate. And I think it came from Hobby Lobby, but I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, it worked great for this. I'm going to have Jerry put a hanger right here on the back of this, so that it can be hung. And I'm not sure, but it may stay up most of the year. It says you are loved. That's it. That's all I have to show. I do have one more thing I need to do. I had a giveaway. I announced a giveaway last video for this market bag that I made, and it has a little notions bag and accessory bag inside that matches it. It's big enough to carry a couple of projects. It's not huge. I did the random comment generator. Let's see. You know I don't know how to insert anything, so here's the winner. Mary Lou Statson. Mary Lou Statson. Mary Lou, I will put my email below in that little box, and if you would email me your address. I'm not very quick at getting things mailed out, but I get them done eventually. Honestly, I think I'm almost a hermit. I stay home a lot. I go to church, to Bible study, things like that, but I don't belong to any sewing groups anymore. I try to go visit friends, but I just stay home a lot. And the post office is about, a 20 minute drive, I guess. But I'll get it out eventually to you. So, Mary Lou Statson, if you would please email me. Now, I think that's all I have for stitching. I told you I had ordered some market things, but not a lot. I saw a lot that I would love to have, but I kept telling myself they're not going away. They'll still have them 6 months from now. And so I keep repeating that to myself. You can wait. You can be patient. I went back this week and reorganized some of my cross-stitch stuff. And I have something like, I want to say 52 or 53 patterns kitted up. That doesn't count my whips. Yeah, I have 13 whips. And I have 4 whips that are archived. That doesn't count those either. These are ones that, for the most part, have the fabric and the threads. A few of them have the fabric, but not the threads. But I have threads, so that's not a concern. I can always pull those. And then there are 2 or 3 in there that are just, they're what Brenda and the Serial Starter call on my immediate radar. Would really like to stitch those. I did get a wild hair last week, and ordered the threads for a Savior's praise. And so I figure if the coronavirus keeps me in for a very long time, that's going to be one of the things I start, because I know it'll take me a very long time to stitch that, and I'll have plenty to do. So that's about it, y'all. Can't think of another thing. I hope that you all stay well, that you have plenty to do if you end up staying at home. Our granddaughter, who has been studying abroad, she's been in Orléans, France, has been ordered home. They are in the process of trying to get her airline ticket changed. It was one of those unchangeable tickets, and she was coming home at the end of April. I assume with the president's new rulings about travel that the airline will go ahead and honor that and bring her on home, and then she'll be quarantined, of course, for a couple of weeks, which is fine. She has a little apartment at her parents' house. This was her last semester of college. She will graduate in May, and she was only taking French classes. She has a double major, French being one of those. So she will be fine. Whatever she needs to finish up for that class, I feel sure she can do, if not through Skype, at least through email. And she was doing one Skype course with someone here in the United States that she was finishing up. So she'll be okay. I know there are others. Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail, her daughter Maddie is in Australia and will be coming home. So I hate that for those young people who dreamed of those semesters abroad for a very long time, and they're having to cut them short. But it's just the way the world is right now. I have been and will continue to pray for all of you and for all of us as we weather this crisis, and I am sure we will weather it. I pray that you will all be well, that you will all, your families will be well, and that you will, if you end up staying home for a while, that you get to do a lot of stitching. So see you all next time. Bye-bye.